Hello, and welcome back to MoonMagic Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we join Princess Cinderella for another full, 10-minute adventure. A deep and mysterious gloom has fallen over the Royal Observatory. Orion, the wise old stargazer who reads the kingdom's destiny in the night sky, can no longer see the stars. This is a curious story about a sky that has gone dark, a forgotten memory, and the light that never truly fades. So snuggle in, and let the story begin. High in the tallest castle tower, in a circular room filled with brass telescopes and celestial maps, lived the royal stargazer Orion. For 50 years, he had been the keeper of the stars. His wisdom was legendary. He could predict the seasons from the dance of the planets, and find hope in the faintest nebulae. The stars were his friends, his guides, and his life's work. But one night, his friends abandoned him. He looked through his magnificent telescope, the one he had used his entire life, and saw nothing. Just a flat, empty, black void. The next night was the same. The stars, for him, had vanished. A terrible shame fell over Orion. He locked the door to his observatory and told no one, but the kingdom felt his despair. The farmers grew anxious, and a sense of uncertainty drifted through the castle like a fog. The royal advisor, of course, noticed the lack of star reports. He marched into the observatory. "Orion, your charts are late," he boomed. "What is the meaning of this?" Orion, his back turned, simply mumbled, "The stars are gone." The advisor scoffed, "Nonsense. Your eyes are old, and this telescope is ancient. We will order a new one, the largest in the 5 kingdoms. And perhaps a younger stargazer to use it." He left, convinced he had solved the problem. Cinderella, overhearing this, felt a deep ache in her heart. She knew this wasn't a problem a new telescope could fix. She went to the observatory later that day. After the advisor left, Cinderella remained. She ran a hand over the cold, heavy brass of the grand telescope, a machine that had once been a source of such wonder, now sitting like a silent, sleeping giant. The air was thick with the smell of old paper and dust, but underneath it all, she could feel the heavy presence of a deep, unspoken grief. This was not a place of failed equipment, it was a place of a broken heart. Her own heart ached in sympathy. The room, once a place of wonder, felt like a tomb. Orion sat in the dark, not even looking at his beloved telescope. "Orion," she said gently. "The advisor does not understand." "He is right," Orion whispered, his voice thick with shame. "I am a stargazer, who cannot see the stars. I am useless." Cinderella looked at the star charts on his desk, covered in a thin layer of dust. She noticed that among the familiar constellations, there was one she had never seen before, a small, beautiful cluster of stars he had drawn and labeled the lantern. "Tell me about this constellation," she asked softly. "The lantern, it's beautiful." A flicker of pain crossed Orion's face. "It is nothing. A boy's foolishness." He would say no more. That evening, Cinderella described the strange constellation to the prince. He called it the lantern, but he wouldn't tell me why. He seemed hurt by the memory. The prince's eyes grew distant. "The lantern, my mother used to tell me a story about Orion. When he was a very young boy, he got lost in the whispering woods at night. He was terrified. An old kind man who lived in a small cottage found him. The man was the lantern keeper of the woods, and he would light a bright lantern on his porch every night to guide lost travelers. He took Orion in, and while they waited for morning, he taught the boy the names of the stars. Orion never forgot him. That constellation. It was his tribute to the man who saved him. Where is the cottage now?" Cinderella asked. Abandoned for decades, I imagine, the prince replied. The old man passed away, many, many years ago. The next morning, Cinderella rode out to the Whispering Woods. The Whispering Woods were ancient and deep. Sunlight struggled to pierce the thick canopy of leaves, and the air was cool and smelled of damp earth and moss. Cinderella followed a barely their path, her horse stepping carefully over gnarled roots. There was a feeling of forgotten time here, of stories held by the silent, watching trees. It was a place where magic felt not just possible, but entirely natural. After a long search, she found it a small, stone cottage, almost completely consumed by ivy. The roof had fallen in, and the windows were gone. And in front of it, where the porch used to be, lay a single, rusted, and broken lantern on the ground, half buried in mud and leaves. It hadn't been lit in 50 years. Cinderella understood. Orion hadn't lost the stars. He had lost his first star. The memory of the kind old man and his guiding light was so tied to his love of the sky that when the lantern finally broke and rusted away, the light in his own heart had gone out. And with it, his ability to see the wonder that had always been there. She carefully picked up the broken lantern and brought it back to the castle. She didn't take it to a blacksmith. She took it to the royal jeweler. I need you to mend this, she explained. But not just its metal. I need you to restore its light. The jeweler, a master craftsman, worked for a day and a night. He repaired the rusted metal, polished the cloudy glass, and inside, where the candle used to be, he placed a single, flawless, captured star, a magical gem that pulsed with a soft, warm, golden light. The jeweler, a man accustomed to working with the kingdom's most precious gems, held the rusted lantern with a surprising tenderness. He understood that this was more valuable than any diamond. He worked not with the loud clang of a hammer, but with the soft tap of a tiny mallet, and the whisper of a polishing cloth. He was not just fixing an object, he was honoring a memory, carefully bringing a forgotten light back to life. That night, Cinderella went up to the dark observatory. She did not speak. She simply placed the restored lantern on Orion's desk. The old stargazer looked up. He saw the lantern, its beautiful light pulsing with a familiar warmth. He slowly reached out a trembling hand and touched it. A lifetime of memory washed over him, the face of the kind old man, the feeling of being safe after being lost. The first time he had truly seen the wonder of the night sky. A single tear, the first he had shed in years, rolled down his cheek. He told me, Orion whispered, that the stars are just lanterns in the heavens, to make sure no one ever feels lost in the dark. The light from the lantern seemed to chase the shadows from the corners of the room, and from the corners of his heart. As he held it, the years fell away. He was no longer the old, shamed royal stargazer, but a small, lost boy, safe and warm in a kind stranger's cottage, looking up at the vast, star-filled sky for the very first time. He remembered the old man's gentle voice, naming the constellations, turning the terrifying darkness into a world of wonder and light. The memory was so powerful, so real, it was as if no time had passed at all. Slowly, he stood up. He walked to his old, familiar telescope. He wiped the dust from the lens with his sleeve, and he looked through the eyepiece. And there they were. His friends. The stars, in all their glory, shining brighter and more beautifully than ever before. The lantern constellation seemed to wink at him from across the vastness of space. His sight had not failed him. Only his heart had forgotten how to see. And so, Cinderella solved the mystery, not with a new telescope, but with an old memory. She reminded the kingdom that the brightest lights are not always in the sky, but in the love and kindness we carry with us, and that those lights can never truly be extinguished. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like and subscribe to MoonMagic Bedtime Stories for more wonderful tales. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have a peaceful and happy night. Remember that even in the darkest sky, there is always a light waiting to be found. We'll see you for the next story.